Hey, I think we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever Foxing Around podcast. I'm your host, Raymond Fox. This is my co-host, who's running on Indian time, man. You're going to have to forgive my bro, River Thomas. Ran into some car troubles. He should be joining us in a few minutes, so we're looking forward to that. Obviously, we got a huge first show here, man. I'm so excited about our first special guest, obviously. We got a very important first special guest. As well, too, we'll be doing our giveaway for the Treaty 6 sweater and snapback combo. And just a quick shout out to Treaty 6 Land Lifestyle Stories, man. Give them a like on Instagram and Facebook. And as well, too, our special guest is going to be bringing in a giveaway of his own, man. So stay tuned for that. He's going to give you guys the info on that. So without further ado, man, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Raymond Fox. I'm 25 years old. I'm from the Sweetgrass First Nation in Saskatchewan, Canada, on the Plains Cree territory. I go to school at Red Deer College. I'm looking to major in education. I want to be a teacher. In addition, I also play soccer for the Red Deer College Kings. So something I'm passionate about. It's something that's important to me. I love playing soccer. It means a lot to me. So that's just a quick little bit about me. But enough about me, man, because we got somebody in here, man, that I am so very excited about, man. When I think about this first guest, man, there's a few words that come to mind. You know, icon, trailblazer, innovator, and just, you know, ultimate humble dude, man. Like I cannot say enough good words about this guy. So without further ado, man, I'm about to introduce you to the gorgeous gangster, the Indian outlaw, my brother, Joey Stylez. One sec. Sorry, you gotta give me a sec. Hey, there we go. Mr. Joey Stylez. Welcome.
Yo, that intro was official, man. I need to get that everywhere I go, brother. You got to travel with me on the road.
Hey, brother. Anytime. Take me with you, brother.
This is number one. We breaking it in right now, right? This is like the first show. So this is exciting for you.
Hey, for sure, brother, man. I'm so excited that you're here, bro. I'm so excited that, you know, you were with me from day one, bro. Like, as soon as I had this idea, you were 100 right there with me, behind me, mentoring me, making sure that this was the right fit for both of us. So I can't thank you enough, brother.
Well, you already know what it is, bro. It's all about like us having dreams, us having goals, and just doing it like it's nothing, man. Because it doesn't matter what you want to do in this life. If you just follow through, you do it. You give yourself a plan to get from A to Z. You'll do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people overthink it. They think it's harder than it really is, but how hard is it to just go out and chase your dream? If it's something you love, it's not even work. You're just doing what you love to do.
Hey, for sure, brother. I love that. So, first things first, man, you got to give us an update. What's up lately, man? Talk a little bit about Blessed Street. You got some new music. What's going on, brother?
Oh, Blessed Street Studios. It's we're almost done. Whew, it's been a lot of work. Just thinking about it makes me tired. We had to do a lot of renovations. We had a workshop. I had a whole crew in there doing carpentry, electricians, people painting, flooring, you name it. It's just it's a beautiful spot. It's a space I've been dreaming for my whole life. Coming from the plains, you know, we're very nomadic. I'm a Plains Cree Métis. So on both sides of my family, we've always been traveling and always been very unsettled and couldn't really plant seeds anywhere. But after I had my kids with my wife, Carson Gray, which I just recently married, that's big news. We moved to Hajduk, and finally I was able to plant them roots. So we said, you know what? Before I was like, I don't know if I want to buy a house, but we bought a house here. We built a beautiful studio. We're with our kids, so we're living a good life. So it's like I feel this is blessed. We're on Blessed Street Studios. Blessed also comes from like double S inside. There's like Stress Street with the dollar signs. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So this studio, I want to mentor a lot of like young cats. You know, for me, we'll definitely do studio time. If someone wants to rent some studio time or something, or they want beats, or they want to record, whatever, no problem. But my real interest is finding like the next talent and then taking them to where I've been further. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said before, man, I'm just getting started. You know, I've already been in the game for like 20 years, and I feel like the same excitement when I first came out. So we have a project coming out. We just dropped a three-part documentary called 3i Hip. The soundtrack will be out next month. The single out right now is called Ding-a-Ling. And speaking of Ding-a-Ling, so this is the War Chief logo right there. You see that?
Yes, sir.
War Chief. Yeah, right there. So I don't know if you can see it that good, but there it is. So That's the War Chief logo. Stress Street. It's our lifestyle club. We focus on a lot of things. So if you want to win that beanie, that winter cap, whatever you call it, wherever you're at, viewers, you could definitely win that. Just go to my page, go to my Instagram page, and do the hashtag ding-a-ling. And then I'm going to put everyone's name in a draw, and you have an even chance to win with everyone else. So we're staying active. You know, Carson's working on her project. Carson Gray, my wifey. She's amazing, man. Like, she's a way better artist than I am. And, yeah, and I have a lot of stuff we're doing. We have the Stress Street album coming out. I got a couple group projects. I got my solo one, which is going to be out next month. I have a little web series I'm developing. I'm working on another kind of like a film project with Patrick Shannon, who's from Haida. He's just a dope dude altogether. And my drummer, who I'm partners with now, a lot of things, his name's Dark Sean. The dude's a monster. He just got asked to go drum for the group Gorillaz on their UK tour and I think European tour. So that's my dude, man. So right now I got rich music blood like flowing, and Carson's dad's moving out here. The dude played with Chilliwack with Nick Gilder, so I feel like I'm in a good spot musically right now to make the best music I ever did.
Hey,
we started off
here.
with trap, but like evolution is natural. Like, who wants to be the exact same as they were when they're in their 30s as they were when they're in their teenage years? You grow. Like, when you're a teenager, you barely have any money. When you're 30, you're buying property, you're buying cars, you travel around the world. So who's not going to change, right? So that's why the music taste and some of the music I put out changed a little bit. Feel me?
For sure, brother. For sure, man. I love to hear it, man. I love to come check it out pretty soon, man. I got to come out there and see what you're up to, brother.
Yeah, you and your lady, man. I already said, come out to Haida Paradise.
Hey,
to the
for sure.
world.
Hey, I love that. I love that.
West is you can go in Canada. We're there right now. Edge of the world, Haida, totem poles, wilderness is second to none. You look outside your window. Sometimes you'll see like a killer whale or like some kind of big old gray whale or a it's something else out here.
Hell yeah, brother. That sounds great. So, man, first things first, man, what I want to do is obviously I heard you. Hey, shout out to Pepsi. We got the cola.
No. I was gonna say I seen the Pepsi. I'm gonna pull up Uncle Moves here. I gotta give you a lecture, brother. People begin to die. I don't care if I offend anybody, but too much people begin diabetes from that Pepsi. Go Zevia. It's stevia sweetened. It's better for you. You still get that sweet taste. You get that punch from the carbonation when you crack it. You hear that.
Hey, there you go. That's some Uncle Joey tips right there.
Yeah. Man, we gotta beat that diabetes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, brother. I hear you. I'm a little bit too hard on the Pepsi, I'll admit, but I'll work it out.
You're still young.
Yeah, exactly. Staying active. So, like you said, bro, Plains Cree, man, you come from the Plains Cree territory, Métis. Take us back a little bit, bro. You know, take us back to where you first kind of started. You know, where we come from, your early roots, stuff like that, brother.
I was so fortunate to come from where I came from and be born at the time I was born because I got to see so much stuff. I got to see what life was like pre-internet. You know what I mean? Because now, if you're born when the internet is around, you can't even imagine what it was like before the internet. I was living out there. I was actually living out there. You feel me? Like, we're out there. It's not like we're just talking to each other by emojis or talking to each other on Instagram. You know, I was really, really in the world, running around in expensive cars when I was young in the street. Before that, even I was with my mom and my dad going to protests, going to rallies, going to political functions, going to sun dances, round dances, all the ceremonies that make us who we are. Very proud to be a Plains Cree Métis because my faith is where I am right now. You know, like the bullets that have been dodged, the jail sentences that have been dodged, man, it's all because of God. You feel me?
For sure.
God's great. God's everything. So, you know, when I was young, we had like definitely that upbringing, the Métis Catholics. So we'd go into the church, right? You know what I'm saying? And then also at the same time, maybe the next week we go to the Sundance Lodge. So my whole upbringing is based upon faith. Even around all the things I see in the different incarcerations, I seen family members going to prison, family members hustling, slanging, or whatever, going away from violent stuff. I always had that faith. Even myself, when I was in the darkest place, that faith kept me from really sinking too deep to where you can't come out. Because, man, I shed so many damn tears over all the brothers I lost. Like, even this year, I lost like four like my best friends, you know.
Right, brother.
And sometimes you get jaded, and sometimes it might take you a couple of weeks to cry. But man, the tears be coming out. Like last night, I shed some tears for my cousin Will, thinking about him. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about him, and I'm never gonna see him again. I can't give him a hug again. I can't get him on the phone again, telling me his crazy war stories. And
Word,
you know,
bro. That's a
every time you
$8
see
bill, man.
somebody, every time you see somebody, always make sure you give them love and just mean it too.
For sure, brother. That's some huge stuff. We'll get into Will a little bit more as we kind of go along. But so obviously, like I don't think too many people know, bro. But before Joey Styles was a rapper, Joey Styles was a ball player. So you were on the hard court before you were spitting bars. Is that right?
Yeah, I was on. Me and Michael Linklater played together in my younger years. We traveled to I think Minnesota. We were in Victoria. We went all over the states playing in tournaments all across Canada, playing tournaments. And that boy is magic. Like just seeing him play ball, I'm just so proud of him because I know where he started. I was there when he first started. We first picked up a basketball, and he's so athletic and so competitive. Within like a year and a half, he was like beating everyone that's been playing their whole life and putting hours in. Because I don't know, he's just he's a special cat, man. They never drank, never did drugs, never got involved in the streets, but we were out there banging. And it's hard because where we come from, that's glorified. I mean, like that's very, very glorified. Like
For
that,
sure.
that crazy kind of jail street mentality. That's just the way life is. So
Word, brother, word, man. That's crazy. So yeah, speaking of that, bro, like obviously you got your start kind of in the trap music, like you started spitting the old hard bars, like Lock On came a long way. When you first kind of started getting that mainstream success, was that like were you spitting about like your environment and what you were doing at the time? Like was it because you were in the streets like that? You're kind of getting that heavy, hardcore rap that people know you for to this day?
there was about a 2.5, 3 year period where I was like legit, like that Bruce Lee movie Game of Death. I was playing that game, like I seen people around me getting killed. I seen there was shootouts, there was jail sentences, there was people trying to take people out. It was crazy, man. I was living like a real, real nasty place. And because of God, I got out of it. Straight up. I can't take the credit being some tough macho guy or being the baddest in the street. God got me out of that because he had a different plan for me. But I was really out there, like the stuff you see on these movies when you watch like gangster movies when they're doing this and they're doing that. Like we was out there for real, It wasn't like a figure of speech. And in those years, I was very, very active. And even after I left that lifestyle behind, a lot of my family and my best friends, they still were in that lifestyle. And I don't look down on them because everyone has their own path in this life. That's God's gift. He's like, yo, here's your life. Go ahead, do what you want to do with it, man. You know what I'm saying? So with me, there was a time when I was in the streets, and I was in the streets partially because of anger. I had stuff going on with my parents I was upset about, and it took them a while to grow up because I had kids when they were very young. So obviously, a lot of us been through that when our parents have kids when they're young, and then they're still kids trying to raise kids, right? So I was angry about things. I seen my cousin get. No, I never seen him get killed, but he got killed. I seen him get buried at a young age. That really set me over the edge, and I became angry. So some people went to school, some people went to the church. Me and a couple of my dudes, we went hard in the streets. And there was a time when I was so reckless, jail or like a coffin didn't seem like it was that threatening to me. And when you hear Long Way, that was actually like word for word a biography. Because I remember when I first was in the streets and I was hustling, I remember bagging stuff up in the basement. My dude, listening to gangster music.
Yeah.
And there was a time when I said I would never ever do that. I'm like, I'll never do that. That's poison. I don't want to hurt anybody. But hurt people hurt people. I was so angry with like a lot of things that was going on, right? So at that point, I just hit the streets real hard, man. Never looked back. And the way we were rolling at one point, like if we had problems with someone, we'd drag them out of a nightclub, or it doesn't matter where you were. It was on site, And I had my crew was heavy, I mean, my brothers were heavy, like they're real solid dudes. And my big bro, Big D, Heavy D out there in Saskatoon, he's always made sure I was cool too. So I always just knew all the OGs, and I'm telling our story, things we've been through, and why we're going through it is because this bullshit system that failed us has made us so angry. They, you know what I mean? They introduced alcohol to us, they introduced drugs to us, because they could stop alcohol, they could stop drugs. They could make it so that there's programs so people get the proper education so they can work good jobs, but they need people in jail because each inmate's about 100 racks, $100,000 a year that goes back to the system to keep the lights on, to pay the workers, to pay the people cooking the food. So that's a business. The law system's a business. The lawyers and judges get paid. That's another part of society. Police need to be hired. So they don't want to fix that, man. They want it to be broken. And why do you think it is the way it is? Because we're pissed off, man. We're angry. Things aren't right. Things ain't fair. So when you hear my music back then, before I kind of went to the pop realm, there was anger there, and that was real stuff. It's not like I was some rapper rapping about things I heard other people rap about. We were really there, you know what I mean?
For sure, brother. For sure, man. Was there a time where you were like ever feeling like you were in too deep, or like obviously because you're rapping on the streets, you know, like everybody at that time they knew Joey Stylez. Joey Stylez was the rapper, but he's also, you know, the gangster. Like you were living a real life kind of like get rich or die trying movie, you know, like trying to get out the hustle, move into the rap game. You know, was there ever moments where you were like, man, I got to get out of this life because I got something here, you know? Was there ever the moments that came through?
It was always a means to an end, the streets for me. Like it wasn't like I want to do that for my life. It's just I want to do music. I knew that, but I didn't have the money to do it, right? Like these bills ain't gonna pay themselves. Studio time ain't gonna pay itself. The trip to Atlanta ain't gonna pay itself. The trip to LA, you know what I mean? So I needed money. And when you don't have like I only had a grade 12, right? That's as far as I got in school. You ain't gonna get no job that's gonna pay 100 grand or 100 plus grand a year. So the only way like a little young white skin Nietzsche knows how to get money like that when you're a young dude is hit the streets. So we hit it hard. And I'm just lucky my family's who my family is, you know what I mean? Like, and my parents, my mom and dad, they raised me good. They raised me to be respectful. They raised me to be a person of faith. Even though we had our ups and downs, you know, stuff happened with my dad, with my mom. Everyone, this whole motherfucking world has problems in their house. So it's not like everything's sunshine and lollipops. Yeah, we all go through some stuff, battles, ups and downs with their parents. But at the end of the day, I love my parents and they're my heroes. So the reason I was able to navigate and get there, and in that point when I was too deep, I was kind of laughing about it. Like laughter has always been my medicine. I remember late Will was with me and one of my other homies, I'm not going to say his name. We were coming out this restaurant, and as we were coming out the restaurant, this vehicle was rolling up. It was like an SUV. I was like, damn. I was like, I think we got beef right now. Because back then we used to have beef. And there was a time when I used to roll around with one of these everywhere I went because I didn't want to get caught without one. Like dudes say, I'd rather be caught with it than caught without it. And there was a time when I was like that. But at that time, luckily we didn't have that on us. So all of a sudden we're going to the car, and I look, and this vehicle is rolling up. So I was like, yo, man, I think these guys are rolling up. And some old white men jumped on and they had guns. I was like, whoa, police officers, bro. And then all of a sudden I turned around the other way, and there's like, we're surrounded. Everybody, like, all these guns are on us. Freeze. So of course we're locked up, handcuffed. I thought it was done. I thought I got caught for doing something I'd done before previously. Handcuffs on. I look at my bro. I'm like, I start laughing. I'm like, I guess it's over now. I started laughing. He looked at me. He wasn't laughing. He was serious. I never got charged though because it was something he did, but I was just with him when the cops apprehended him. Yeah. They searched the vehicle. There was nothing in there. My cousin Will, my late cousin Will, so wild. Boy, I tell you that boy was wild. All of a sudden, they're like, they got nothing on us. They're digging through his pockets. They pull out this pair of brass knuckles that has a big blade on the end. I'm like, you got nothing on us. That's like a gladiator weapon you got, bro. You're talking about nothing.
That's wild, bro. That's some wild stories, brother. You know what I want to get into, bro, is one thing I think it was just around this time, bro. Do you remember the billboard that you guys put up on 20th in Idlewild?
Yes, I do, man.
All right.
Something else.
Yeah, let me get into it a little bit first. I'm going to give a little backstory because I know it means something different for me than it means for you, but you can kind of explain the story a little bit more, bro. I'll give you guys a little backstory. So I was about 12 or 13 at the time, and obviously Joey Stylez is who he is. You know, he's the coolest guy in Saskatoon at the time, you know, gangster rapper. Everyone wants to tell people that Joey Stylez is their cousin. Everyone wants to be like Joey Stylez. He's just a man of the city, you know what I mean? And we all kind of respected him and looked up to him. So I think I was in Saskatoon with my parents one day, and we're driving by, and we're on the busiest street in Saskatoon. It's Idlewild and 20th Street. Literally right next to the hood. That's the borderline of the hood is Idlewild and 20th Street. And you look up, and there's Joey and some other dudes, and they're on a billboard. and they're promoting Joey's Black Star album, I believe it was, and it was like the coolest thing that I had seen like at the time, man, because here was an indigenous guy, you know, that everyone thought was the man, like he was the king of the city at the time. And he's announcing himself to the world, like, hey, I'm here, you know, and he didn't go put that billboard on the east side or, you know, closer to the city. Nah, he put it right on the borderline of the hood. And for me, it was an important moment in my life because that was the first time I ever seen an indigenous person on a billboard. And it made me feel like, you know what, like that could be me, that could be my cousin. We can get like those systems you were talking about, we can break those systems because Joey Stylez is on a billboard right now showing us that he's here, man. And that's what it meant to me. I know it kind of got a little jaded for you, but just give me a little bit of backstory and explanation on it.
Well, yo, that makes me feel so proud just hearing what you said. I can't say that like how proud it makes me because it's so proud. There's not a number for it or there's not like a gauge for it. But my dude Trent Duff, he really believed in the vision. He understood what we were doing, was trying to do. So he's like, yo, let's get this billboard, man. So I was like, okay. And at the time, you know, coming from my family I come from and knowing the people I grew up with in every city I've been in, I've been very respectful. I made good friends with all the chiefs of all these of the different, you know, red, white, black, all these different kinds of teams or crews or squad, whatever you want to call them. So in that particular billboard, there was some major politics going on, man. There was the guys in white from Regina, then there's the guys in red from down south, and then of course me, I'm down with black because I'm a Saskatoon boy, and my big brother, the Big D's always been like the chief out there. So you know, of course I was rep for that, and then my boy, you know him, Big Sav, obviously he's a Stress Street brother, and Trent was a Stress Street brother as well. So it was kind of like showing that we could all be together, you know, like there's been a lot of problems inside up north, inside Huskow, inside this place where people go for vacations and to weight lift. There's been a lot of politics issues going on, political issues going on with crews going at each other. But for me, I don't think it needs to be like that. I think we're all in it together. Like we have the same issues. We've all been broke before, you know, if you're a young indigenous dude. We've all been pissed off because something happened at home. We've all been angry because something happened to one of our family members. It's not fair. And I think we should all just get together and band together and make this world a better place for our people, you know, because in Canada, the oppressed people are the Nietzsche's, you know what I'm saying? Like indigenous people, Indians, First Nations, however you say it, man. I always have a hard time saying that, though, because you get these people that are politically correct that try to correct you. But so that billboard, when I put it out there, it was like a BMF moment. There was this crew in America called Black Mafia Family, and they put out Young Jeezy, the dude Big Meech was flying around the world in jets, making millions of dollars in the trap. So it was like that moment, like we're doing music now. We came from the streets and now we're here, and we're not looking back. We want to do this legal. We want to get corporate money. We want to get deals with the big companies. You understand me? And that's what we were doing, man. We were stepping up. Right after that, I put a video out. I remember one time seeing Sugarcane on this channel, Much Punch. I was at my dude's house, and he's kind of one of those guys that like doesn't kind of give you props because he's just like a hard ass. So I'm sitting there talking. I'm like, yo, my video's on TV, dope. And it's like this Much Punch where you can text in and get a vote for a video.
Yeah.
Watching it, and the next thing you know, right after it was done, it came on again. He looked at me the second time it came on. I was like, what the fuck? This shit just came on again? And I was like, yeah, it's like dope. So we're sitting there in this big mansion, you know, this guy's got Lamborghinis and Bentleys and all kinds of crazy whips like that. So we're sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden it comes on a third time in a row. I'm like, what's going on here? And that's like my best bro, man. You know, we've been around the world. We've been to Egypt, all over Europe, we've been to South America, like that's my dude, man. We've been to Africa together. And he's always been like, you need those friends that are honest with you. You know, you don't need yes men. He's not a yes man. But if he thinks this, like I could think a song's the best song ever and he'll just shit on it. But so for me, like that was it, man. That billboard represent, we're going corporate. We want to get that corporate money. We want to be on TV. We want to be on the radio. And just because we're Nietzsche's and we're doing it ourselves doesn't mean we shouldn't be there. We are there. We're doing it now. Look how many people are on TV that are on mainstream television and mainstream radio. We're there and we're on our way. And we're only part way there because there's no reason why one of our native brothers shouldn't be playing Johnny Depp's part in that film when he's Tonto. You know what I'm saying? We have the actors. You know, there's guys like Martin Sennheimer. There's some other cats too that are doing it real big. So why not, man? Let's get that money. Let's get that success. Let's reach for the stars, like you said, and that's what that billboard represented.
All right, brother, for sure. I'm gonna hand this over real quick. 1 second, just to my brother River. He just got here. Obviously, he just wants to say a few words.
Hey, what up, man? Speaking of Big Sav, honestly, bro, Big Sav has the best hooks of any First Nations artist ever, bro. His hooks are amazing, bro. Yo, what's good? What's good? That's a really good song both you guys have. But like Big Sav's hooks, they just hit different. His voice is not
crazy.
So crazy. And speaking of Sugarcane, bro, I was bumping that the whole ride here. I'm not even gonna lie. Sugarcane and Cool Runnin'. Cool Runnin' goes hard to this day, bro. That's my number one hype up song. Certainly stunning.
Man, I love, cool, brother. Yeah, Big Sav, that guy's, man, so much talent. Like, just, you'd be like the Barry White or something of, like, you know, of hip hop. Dude's unreal with his hooks. And, you know, if all you people at home say a prayer for Sav, man, between us and your viewers, I don't know if a lot of people know this, it'd be cool to update people. He's in jail right now for like a drive-by shooting, attempted murder or something like that, last I heard. So I haven't been in touch with him, but that's like one of my best friends in the whole world. You know, we did a lot. When I moved back to Canada from Atlanta, I went to Regina and we were out there in like in the trap. And then we went to Vancouver and then we were floating around, you know, and that's how it was. So keep Big Sav in your prayers. The boy sings sick hooks, can rap. He's one of the most solid dudes I know. One time we were in Surrey and we're in the gym getting ready for Sugarcane lifting weights. You know? The whole gym was shaking. It was like, boom, boom. I was like, whoa, was there an earthquake? I walked around the corner and Big Sav was punching the punching bag. I was like, what? It was crazy, yo.
Hey, that's wild, brother. So like we said, man, Sugarcane, Cool Runnin', Indian Outlaw, that's kind of where, you know, like the Gorgeous Gangster, all that stuff starts taking off your mainstream, you know, like you're starting to get them hits, seeing yourself on much music, you know. Where are you at in that process, you know, like where are you at that time in your life, you know?
At that time in my life, it was weird because I transitioned from the street, you know, had some savings, and then I saved money from back in the day. So I was living off my savings for quite a while. And we had legit businesses as well, you know, like my family had some smoke shops and those did very well for us. And it's something that the brothers from out east and the sisters from out east be doing out the Mohawks, right? But we had them smoke shops and we were doing good. So I had enough money saved to get me through. But when I first was on TV, people thought I was a million. When they heard me on like the mainstream radio, yo, you got $5, man. It's like, yo, man, I'm gonna get this paper, but I don't got this yet. So just, you know, let me have a second to breathe and get my flow on. You feel me?
Sure, brother. I hear what you're saying, man. So you're touring around at this time, you know, like you're starting to get the shows and stuff like that. I know there's an infamous incident. We kind of want to talk about it a little bit, bro. I don't know if you remember the 50 Cent concert that you had opened for, brother. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a crazy concert. You know, that whole time was crazy because, well, maybe 5 days before I was at the concert, a couple days, I don't know how many days, we're driving by, and then we're on Preston and Taylor, and there's cops everywhere. Like it was on this off. I said, "Yo, looks like someone got taken out." I said, so I'm driving, and I get a call. Yo, your uncle just got shot in front of his house and he's passed on. He's gone. I was crying. I was like, what the? That was like that was when I first started to lose a lot of friends to violence. And I was really upset. And I was like, damn, man. And I got asked to do the 50 Cent concert already. But like my big bro, Jay, he was like, yo, man, you can't be doing this 50 Cent concert. These guys got like 20 or 25 thou on your head. What?
Damn.
I was like, yo, I'm doing this concert, man. I don't give a fuck about 20 or 25K on my head. We're going to move through this, man. God's with me. That's my backup, you know? He's like, no. So we called my dude, my boy. He also goes by the name Heavy D from out west. The dude is like ex-NFL player. Put it this way, when he showed up with a 5XL bulletproof vest. The guy benches 600 pounds. So we show up, we do the 50 Cent concert. You know, I was rolling around with the vest too at that time because things were getting pretty out of hand at that moment of my life. Next thing you know, we're at the after party. One of my boys just got out of jail too. He did some wild stuff. He did one of these things. He ended up beating it because he wasn't guilty, but he was his first day out of being in jail. So after he was out of jail, he was never drank for like hell a long time, right? So he was a little drunk and we're on stage. He's dancing with girls, and the G-Unit DJ, I think it was named Who Kid, was like, "Yo, only girls on the stage." So my boy left, but he kept drinking, kept coming on dancing with all the girls. That's when the girls were on the stage, so he's up there. So he kept coming up, and eventually he got mad. He got arguing with one of them. So then he pushed the guy. The guy pushed him back, and he spit in the guy's face. And as he spit in the guy's face, one of their guys grabbed him from behind and bear hugged him. So he's like this, and that guy balled him like he was blocked with his face. So he almost lost his eye. My dude seen that. Pape seen that. He went gorilla. Like, dude was crazy, man. He took on like 4 of those guys. Next thing you know, I looked. And at that time, too, a lot of my dudes used to sport red. Some were sporting black. But it just looked like a sea of black and red storming the stage. And then them just, like, they were, like, hiding under leather coats. They're getting surrounded. It got pretty wild, man. They got chased out of there. Some of them might have took a couple bottles here and there, you know.
Yeah, bro.
A couple act rights.
Yeah. That was some crazy times.
A pug of Mahau and a duck stale, or how do you say?
Yeah, you got it.
Right?
You got it.
Yeah,
you got it. Yeah, that's like one.
Took off, and yeah, a lot of people heard about that, and that was kind of like how my name started to get known in the prairies, because that like people were like, "Yo, Joey Stylez and his brother's Stress Street Lifestyle Club. These guys are wild, man. They got into it with G, and they chased G out the club."
For real, that's like one of the iconic young stories I remember too. Hearing that, you heard that on the grapevine, bro. That's some old school.
That was
old
years
school
ago, man. You know, like now I'm just traveling with my team with this going. Suzette Maya, we've been doing so much shows together, hundreds of shows. We've been New Mexico, New Orleans Jazz Festival. She's coming there, rocking with me. We're hitting up all these communities, spreading wellness, telling the stories because we've been through some shit, and then we know a lot of y'all guys have been through the same thing. So let's utilize the skills, utilize the knowledge, utilize the resources that we accumulated from all our years of growing up and give them to you guys, the viewers, and the people that come out to the workshops to reach your goals, to get over that those humps, to feel better. Because wellness is something you can't give people, but you could just show them how you became well. You could show them the tools, but it's their job to walk through the door.
For sure, brother. I love that. So, man, like around this time too, like obviously when you're blowing up, bro, like, you know, like you said, you're out in Atlanta, you're out in LA, you know, is it tough to kind of like, was it tough to come back home? You know, like some guys, you know, they're expecting a certain level of Joey, and maybe, you know, because you're traveling, because you're working on new music, because you're trying to appeal to a bigger audience, you know, they feel like you switched up, you know, like the culture vultures, and like, you know, like what's that like to navigate, and like, you know, when you at that time?
I've always been a person that, like, I just don't even think about what other people think, right? So when I put out like a couple of songs that were really rock or experimental, some stuff that no one's ever heard before, I didn't really give a fuck what people thought, man. I don't like this. This is so, I don't care, man. I'm making music because it makes me feel good. It makes my spirit feel good. This is what I love to do. So I'm not concerned about trying to make people happy, because at the end of the day, I got my life, right? And in my life, I want to do things that challenge me as a human being. I don't want to do things that are easy. I could write a rap song, like a trap rap song, in like probably like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not even joking, and that shit will be hard. It'll be Yo Gotti Future. It'll be like that, you know. But for me now, like I'm picking up a guitar since this pandemic hit. I want to challenge myself and want to learn guitar. So that's something I've been doing, you know, and I've really been pushing myself to do new things, and I always want to reach new heights. When I got back from Atlanta, that's when I said, you know what? I don't really care what anyone thinks. I want to experiment. I'm going to keep it hip hop because that's what I am. I've always been hip hop, but you know, I'm going to try add some other elements in there, whether it be indie rock or electronic music or a little bit of country, you know, like folk music. But it's always hip hop. It's always street, because we're street smart. There's a difference. So there's a difference between being from the hood, which I'm not. I'm not from the hood. I never was raised in Pleasant Hill like most of my cousins were, or Riverdale. I was raised in a middle class area, but because of the circumstance at home and money was funny, money was real low. Money was slow. I had to go and get my flow on in the hood. I went to the hood and I came there proper, man. My cousins were already there situated, so they understood what's going on. The big homies took me under the wings. I was always respectful and listen to everything they say. So I'm street smart. So I come from the streets. I don't come from the hood. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the streets. I'm making moves, whether it's with clothing or I was hustling back in the day or whatever, man. I'm street smart. Any city I go to in the world I've been to, I've been good. I've been to Bankhead. I lived on Crenshaw in Los Angeles. These are black areas I was staying in, and I wasn't cool there. And it's because I wasn't a threat. You know what I mean? I wasn't like cool to go there because people were scared of me. It was because, this guy's chill, man. It's a cool little dude. And like sometimes it was funny, man. I'd be in the studio with these dudes. Like one time I was in the studio with Big U, who's like he used to manage Nipsey Hussle, was one of the founders of the Crips in Los Angeles. And I was in that studio and like some guy was on the phone. Was like, yeah, I'm just with Big Apple and some cool little white guy. I'm like, I'm not white, man. I'm First Nations. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so just Apple of some little white guy. Like just right after he said it again, like you're not Indian, you're white. So yeah, I just always just did what I want to do, bro, man. I just not be scared because a lot of people hold back because they're too worried about validation, I don't think about that. I never have thought about that. I just know what I love to do and I'm trying to do it and I want to stay true to my family, because family's everything in this life, when the music's done, when the movies are done, when the clothing deals are done, when everything's done, you always have your family, right? And to me, that's like the ultimate. We just bought like a big house out here. We got four bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, two living rooms, a huge backyard, a big workshop, a studio space. But you know what? We all sleep in the same room on the same bed, me and my wife and my kids, because that's what I want, man. I love my family more than anything. I'll take a hot one in the head for them.
Yeah, bro, I love that, man. And we do know your wife a little bit, Carson Gray. Obviously, she's a musician as well too. Very, very talented, man. I love seeing you guys work together, man. What's that process like? Like is it tough sometimes? Like is it straining on your relationship a little bit? Or is it just all love and like you guys just create beautiful music? Because you guys do, obviously, right?
It's just natural again because that's what brought us together was music. Like I knew Carson when she was young. Like Carson's got crazy stories. She'd be like on the phone with like Michael Jackson when she was young. She'd be on the phone with like what's that guy's name again? Smokey Robinson. You know what I mean? So seriously, all these guys, man, was crazy.
Hell yeah, that's a crazy
time. Around, you name it, man. You know what I'm saying? She was on the phone with all these guys, and she was raised by a guy like in the music world. His name was Bobby Taylor, and the late Bobby Taylor passed away. He was the one who discovered Michael Jackson and groomed him. He was in a group with Chong from Cheech and Chong, so her music blood is excellent. And we met on set for Cool Run-In. She's a Haida princess. My dude Freddie introduced us. He's like, he knew that we'd kick it. But when I first met her, I had a girlfriend and she was young. So we didn't really, it wasn't the time for us to be together. And I always knew there was something special about her. I always tell people, yeah, this girl can blow up. And then finally, I was finally single. And then we did a song. She came to Regina for the Indigenous Games to perform. And then we just fell in love. From the second she got there, you fell in love. And at that time too, I was just broke up with the girl, so it was tough because that girl's like, girls be playing games when they are, even guys when they get upset. So there was a strain at first. I was trying to pull us apart, but we were meant to be together. I kept seeing all these little signs. Like I would say a word about us being like, and then all of a sudden I looked in the back on a piece of painting, and it was the exact same word I said. I was like, referring to myself as this and her as that, and then all of a sudden it'd be on there, and then we're just like we're meant to be together. And then when we make music, we just speak from the heart. And I know Creator brought us together. She played Tiger Lily on the movie Peter Pan, right?
Damn.
Yeah. For a lot of years, I'm not Peter Pan anymore, but for a lot of years, it's like, I feel like Peter Pan out here. And, Peter Pan fell in love with Tiger Lily, so it's like I did, but I didn't be calling myself Peter Pan anymore, man. But one time I felt like it, and when I first got here, I felt like I was in Neverland. Kind of like,
Damn, bro, that's a beautiful story, bro. And obviously, congratulations. I know you just got married, bro. I know we saw your setup, bro. It looked awesome. It looked like a beautiful ceremony. I love the cowboy boots, bro. You kept it original, kept that style on lock, bro. It was a
we
good
kept
time.
outlaw, right?
Oh yeah.
We're an outlaw everything we do.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I kind of want to take it just a little bit back because we were talking a little bit about Sav, you know, but there's also some
Okay,
guys
see that?
Hey,
That's what's up, right?
yeah, Indian Outlaw.
Three-eye hip. You see that third eye?
Yes, sir. Clean, brother.
It's beautiful.
From Hide of Ink, my boy Greg gave from Hide of Ink. But anyways, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to cut you off. That was
Hey.
my brother.
Hey, that's all good, brother. It's all love around here, bro. You know, you're a big influence to us, man. We love having you on here, bro. It feels humbling to have you here, brother. Like I said, man, it's we both of us. I think we could say, you know, we looked up to Joey Styles growing up, bro. Like I said, you're the coolest guy in the city and something that we looked up to, man. So just even having you here, it's just all love.
Thank you for having me, man. It means a lot that you chose to have me on your opening show. And yeah, I see there's some. I can't really read because my phone's pretty small. But some of these questions, people got questions from me. I'll definitely hit you guys up later on.
Yeah,
obviously we're all on social media, so that's an easy given. And,
yeah. Before the end of the show, we'll take a few fan questions and kind of let them have a few questions. So we'll get just a few minutes. One thing I did want to talk on quickly though is, like you said, we were talking about Sav a little bit, but obviously some other dudes that you came up with too. You know, like Lake Tommy Duh and Lake Brooklyn. You know, some guys that were some real heavy hitter indigenous rappers. You know, like these guys were probably coming up with you. You know, you guys all kind of had that bringing, you know, like bringing the heat for indigenous rap, you know, and to see kind of where their lanes ended up, you know, was it kind of tough, you know, and is it still tough to carry that around or know that that's, you know, that it could have went that way, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think about it often, you know. It's really sad, especially the way they went. Like, you just got to be in our prayers, you know, because that could have been prevented. That's what's sad. You know, all that could have been prevented. It was very easily prevented. And I knew them very well. I have songs with both of them. We traveled together with both of them in other cities across Canada. They were very close. Those guys were outlaws, you know, guns and robbing banks and they were real deal, man. You know, when you watch like robbers jumping on trains, that was those guys. And Tommy Dog got away it's crazy, you know, like the story of Tommy Dog. I don't know if a lot of people know, but he was in jail looking at like a lot of years jail time for a robbery at some kind of dispensary because all these people snitched on him, man. If you're someone that posted a Tommy Dog video on Crime Stoppers, give yourself a slap in the face, unfollow me. I don't like you because why'd you snitch on my man? That's weak, man. That's corny. 6'9" ass.
Hey, get him, Uncle Joey.
For real though, like he escaped on foot from jail. He had a knife in his cast. The cops beat him up. They broke all his bones, punctured this, so he's on his way to the hospital. He broke out of jail. He broke out, got away, jumped in a taxi, pulled the taxi out, took off in the car, ran away, jumped in this thing, got chased by cops, got out of the vehicle, went and hid in a building, and then eventually got caught. But like that's like something out of a movie. And Tommy Daw was magic. Like he knew magic tricks, and I have a lot of crazy stories about Tommy Daw. Like you wouldn't want to go to a party with him when he had a taser. Put it that way. I see him like, you know, he's always good. He always held me down. Like, you know, a couple times when I used to be wild. You know, I've been sober for a lot of years now. Like for over 5 years now. But when I used to be wild, I used to be like a bolt of lightning and wind. And a lot of times I get myself in situations that were too big for myself. And, you know, guys like Tommy Daw, my late cousin Will, they'd always handle it. But he handled it, man. That boy, Tommy Daw, was wild. Same with Brooklyn. He was not much bigger than me. He was a little dude. But the guy punched out guys that were like 6'10". And that's people like hip hop because it's street, because it's tough. It's the outlaw music. It's the renegade music. And doesn't get more outlaw than that. You know, when he was in jail, actually, when Brooklyn was in jail, he was in Montreal prison. I got a call from my brother John C. He's like, "Yo, do you know anybody in Montreal jail?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." So I call my cuz my cousin, I don't want to say his name, but we called him. He's like a important guy to me. He's always taking care of me anywhere I've been. So I said to him, yo, cuz, do you know about anybody in Montreal? I was like, of course I do. That's where I'm from, man. I'm one of these kind of guys out there. So, yeah, no problem, man. Make a call. But just find out if he's in a blue range or a red range. So he called. And I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, but I think it was a blue range he was in. And he's like, yeah, he's in a blue range. He's like, okay, well, tell him to say he's your cousin and I'm your cousin because he's my cousin. So then we put that call, and then he was good in there because when he first got to jail, he was tripped out, man. Like, he was walking in there, and it was like off the movie where there's like, it's not like how it is in Manitoba, the jail. So there's 2 layers. And he's walking in, there's people, like all these black guys, because he's used to be in jail with all Nietzsche's in the prairies, yelling in French. So he didn't know what was going on. He felt like he's in a different planet. I made that call, and he was good out in jail when he was out there. But because it's a sad fact, in Saskatchewan, a Native male is 33 times more likely to be incarcerated than any other race. And in the rest of Canada, you're 10 times more likely to be incarcerated than any other race. That's some bullshit, man. You know what I mean? It's a system devised to put us down because they know how wild we are. They know how we can take over the sports, we take over the modeling, we take over the acting, we do all that. So they want to keep it for themselves. And luckily, we're starting to have some allies, man. I know a lot of cool white boys and white girls now that are like really standing up for the fight. They're standing up for Black Lives Matter. They're standing up for the land, the water protectors. And remember, it's not white people that's the enemy. White people's not the enemy. It's the system that's our enemy. And they want us to think white people's our enemy because they want us to all be separated. They want us to attack white people. So if we do that, then they come back at us. And it's the old saying, the old system of divide and conquer. If we're all divided, it's so much easier to take us out. But if we come together, man, they ain't taking us out. We could change the system overnight. The white people come with the natives come with the blacks, all the other races around the world. We all come together, man. We could rewrite the system today, done. You know what I mean?
Sure, brother. I know. Man, you're speaking our language, man. That's what we're about right now, man. This is kind of why we're doing this podcast. Elevate voices, start getting into the stuff that we need to talk about. And that we need faces like yourself. We need faces like the guests that are going to be coming on to speak on these issues and to kind of tell us, like this is what it is and this is how it needs to be, man. Because you're right, bro. They do divide us and they want us to be different. They want us to fight. They want the systems in place to keep us down, man. And it's disheartening. It's very disheartening. So we're here to break that slowly but surely, one Foxing Around podcast at a time, bro. Hey, for sure. So one more thing.
Foxing Around here.
Hey, Foxing Around comes from we were like thinking about it, and we were like, we want to have some real issues. We want to talk about real issues, but at the end of the day, we don't want people to take us too serious, man. We're not here to, give people, we're not role models. We're not here to tell you exactly how it is. We're here to fox around a little bit, hopefully have a meaningful conversation and some good laughs. But at the end of the day, it's all fun,
Yeah. I want to teach the people some new language, some Cree language, or even some Plains language, because even Black people up in that, Soto, Ojibwe. But the prairies, we have like a lot of funny talk, like Skoden. Remember Skoden? Yeah. A real person, but it's like, let's go then. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, yo, man, I don't want to say all this word Skoden. But real deadly, that's a good one. But there's some advanced ones. Like, we got to give them some advanced versions of that. One of the most advanced is jazzy. It's like, whoa, that's a little jazzy too. Jazzy little shoes. Jazzy's like better than deadly.
Yeah.
So like, if all you people, you throw that jazzy up there, you're winning. And if you want to get real Nietzsche, you don't even pronounce your F when you say the F word. You say "uck around," "uck say." You know what I mean? That's like when you're really stepping up your game, man. Vocab, like you're up there in the world. "Uck around," "uck say." Got it, man. You heard it here. That's the new one. So throw those two in your vocabulary, and you're gonna be winning.
Hey, there we go.
Jazzy, and don't pronounce the F when you drop the F bomb.
Oh yeah, we got it, man. Life lessons, Uncle Joey, man. Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell them about the first time I met you, bro, because it was tight, bro. It was an experience for me. It was all love, bro. It felt really good. So Joey came down to Saskatoon with one of my big cousins, Chiquita. Chiquita's your boy, obviously. And he was like, "Hey, Joey's in town. He's doing." This was just before coronavirus hit, I remember. And Joey came through. I was a little bit late to the lunch, so my food was getting cold or whatever. But he's like, "Hey, Joey took care of your meal, bro. It's all good." Kind of just sat down and ate my food and didn't say a word. I didn't really want to talk because the OGs are there, they're chilling. And I think your cousin Will was there at the time too. There was me, you, Will, and your videographer. You guys were kind of starting the 3i Hip project a little bit and doing a little bit of that, man. But it was great to get to know you on that level because it made me feel important. Like I said, like I was telling, like we just said, growing up, like you were like a god to a lot of us. Like you were the guy that was in the streets, but also on the music videos, and you were just doing big things. And for you to kind of just, go out of your way to ask me what I'm up to, what I was doing, how I was feeling, make me feel like I was the important one. That was huge. And then obviously, too, we got to roll around with you and Will and Jay and kind of see you guys interact. You guys are some crazy bunches, It felt like as soon as you got back to the plains, you were like back to, Joey Stylez in the streets type thing. So, that was a moment for me, bro. And it meant a lot to me, And I think that's why I kind of wanted to bring you on this first podcast because yeah, it was just great, bro. It was all love.
Well, thank you, man. That was a wild day. That was the last time I seen my cousin Bill that day. Yeah. And that day, you hear me rap about a song, like talking about like people be calling the police. I said a couple of my songs. I can't remember which songs off the top of the head because I got hundreds of songs now. But yeah, it's on my new song, Dang. Like talk about like when we show up, they call the police, But that was real. We were walking around the mall.
Yeah.
Just because of the looks of us, we were stealing. We didn't know what Will didn't have any of his tools on him. Jason doesn't roll around like that, so they just looked at us, and Jason looks like the main. Jason and Will together look like the main bad guys in like a Bruce Lee movie.
For real.
Jason, that's my brother, man. Like that's my blood. Him and Will. And Will's actually like my legit cousin. He's a Black Star. His dad was a Black Star. My cookum was a Black Star. So we come from the same family tree. And having those guys on my side, I could feel good anywhere. I could be like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, today we're gonna go to hell because the devil owes me $20. We gotta go bust him up. All right, let's go. Like no questions asked. These guys are that solid. And just hearing their stories, man. Will's a wild one, man. Like. You remember it. You're like, wow. When you see him, you're like, I never seen nothing like this before. Like when my cousin got 7 years in the penitentiary, I think he did something wild, like not to glorify, but he shot someone with a bow and arrow. Not even a gun, like he's a bow and arrow, dog. And he had a 7 tattooed on his face because he got 7 years. He had like devil horns and tattooed everywhere up. The most muscular dude ever. He was like 220 with the Bruce Lee build, and every penitentiary he was in, he won the tough man competition for weightlifting. Like he was a savage, man, that boy. And I mean that in a good way, not a bad way. And that day, remember that was the day when me and Jason went and recorded that track at the Black Star Boxing in Saskatoon. We opened a boxing club there a few years back with Chad Selkirk, a guy that I grew up with. He's a professional boxing coach, and we had nowhere to record that day. So I was like, I got my laptop and I got Logic. I borrowed a mic. Can we record it at your gym? He's like, sure, of course you can, man. You're my brother. So got the stuff together. We went there, recorded a song. It's a real special track that I think once people hear it, I think it might be the strongest track on my album, but it's that lead up. So right now the current song's Ding-a-Ling. So if you write Ding-a-Ling, go hashtag Ding-a-Ling on my Instagram, on any of my pictures, doesn't matter which one, and you have a chance to win this toque, this winter cap or beanie, whatever you want to call it, Stress Street. So if you want to look at more stuff, it's Stress Street. And that day, we actually filmed us walking around the mall that day. We had a little Starbucks, walking around the mall, looking fly. And Jason is solid, man. Like he's always been like a G, and he's always had my back everywhere I went. I don't even know. He might be like 6'7" or 6'8", maybe 6'9". I don't know how tall he's between 6'7", 6'9". But that man feels like he's about 10 feet tall. And Will just felt like he was bulletproof. And a lot of times people would be to me, karma, it's gonna come back on him. Someone's gonna get him for all the things he did. I'm like, no. I'm like, no one's gonna take Will out. The only one crazy enough to take Will out's Will. And God rest his soul, my brother. He one night this summer or spring, he went into the water, tried to swim home across the lake, and he drowned. And they never found until a lot later. And he went home. He went back to the stars where we came from, man. We all come from a different place, and when we leave this life, we don't go to the dirt. We go home. And he went home. So I'm so glad that I'm happy you got to meet him, and I'm so happy on the documentary. If you watch chapter 2, there's me and Will, and there's Jason, and Jason just laid some sick guitar riffs. He laid the dopest hook. We were all sitting there, giving our input on his hook. And I came home, took it to my studio. I did my thing at my studio at Blood Street. And I think people are going to trip when they hear the song. It's a real simple song. It's not complex, but sometimes that's what's work. Why give people too much when people want this, give them this, don't give them that, right? So we're just giving people what they want. I think this one fits the criteria.
For sure, brother. Obviously I got a little sneak preview of it, man, and I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That is ready to blow up at any moment, man. There's Big J Chiquita right now, man. Shout out Chiquita, bro. Hey, we're gonna have to get him on here pretty soon, man. Because, like he said, he's got a great story to tell too. So stay tuned on that, man. So, anyways, man, maybe we should transition a little bit. We've been kind of talking, just me and River and you a little bit. Why don't we open it up a little bit to a few fan questions? If you guys got anything y'all want to ask the gorgeous gangster himself, man, shoot a question right now. We'll post it up there, and he'll get a few questions for you. Let's see what happens, bro. Somebody's got to have something for you.
I think we can ask you some more questions.
Hey, bro, I got a quick one for you, bro, because it's an infamous video, and it gets talked about a lot. People don't know though, bro. At the end of the video, so what video I'm referencing to is the video when you and The Weeknd are rolling around in Toronto, bro, and you get him to sing a little bit of acapella, and then right after, he gives you that mad love. But at the end, bro, what stood out for me and what I really respected was like you were like, hey, bro, it's all family here, bro, all love. And a lot of people miss that in that video because they're too focused on trying to see something else, So talk to us real quick about that.
Yo, people always be getting cheeky about that video because he said you're gonna blow. So people always be like, yo, you must be mad you didn't blow, but I feel like I blew up, man. Like I'm on Grammys and stuff as far as that goes. But if I would have went to the heights that I think I belong at, like Lil Wayne and Drake and Weeknd and Roddy Ricch and Baby, all these guys, man. If I got that level, I wouldn't have met my wife and I wouldn't have had my kids. And to me, there's no award that is bigger than that. So now is the time to do it because now I got my superpower. I got the fuel to my spaceship. So now I'm going for it. But that video, before that video, me and Weeknd was like my little dog, man. We were like, go eat Jamaican food, and he'd be sitting there, and he was very sure of himself. Very, very, very sure of himself. He'd tell me, like, I'm the best writer in the whole world, bro. I'm crazy, man. I'm writing for Sony. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, give it up, man. I'm the best writer in the whole world. I still think I'm a better writer than him. Why? Just because he sold more records? That means that maybe he's got a doper voice, or maybe he's got better marketing. But I still think I'm at the top of the top. Like I think once you get to a certain level of songwriting, it's just preference. It's not about who writes better because it's just someone might like my stuff better, but the other 100 million people like Weeknd better. He was writing grants, right? And in the grants, he's like, I want to go on tour with Joey Stylez. I'm going to do a feature with Joey Stylez. And he's writing all these grants trying to get it. And then my boy Lamar was like kind of his manager, Hailey, and they got his song to Drake's manager, and Drake's manager went crazy, loved it. They got to Drake. Drake tweeted it. Then all of a sudden, New York Times picked it up on their blog. All the blogs picked it up, and I was getting my haircut in Beverly Hills at the time. And then all of a sudden, people are tripping about The Weeknd. I was like, what? I was blown away because this was like within a couple of days. All the barbershops in LA were talking about it. And that, what the tattoo shops and barbershops, they're connected. They know what's going on because they see all the celebrities, they see all the radio people. So I knew at that point he was gone. And then I went back to Toronto. We had this event. It was at Hard Rock Cafe. I performed. We'd always talk about singing lessons. I'd give him little lessons about being kind of projecting yourself. He'd talk about singing, how you got to breathe. But that night, though, he seen me perform for like maybe 15 or 20 people in Hard Rock Cafe, and it was empty. A little bit humiliated because I thought I invited Weekend, my boy, and I was just like, yo, I'm going to go show him what's up, man. I'm going to kill it for my dogs tonight. So that I went in this venue and it was like empty. I was like, damn, that hurts the ego quite a bit. So, because you want a sold out show, like I'm popping, people want me, I'm desired. But that wasn't happening, man. I went in there, it was empty. And instead of being like a little baby, just doing a little weak set, I was like, no. Tonight, the Thunder Beings live. Tonight, the wind is going to do my set. I'm not going to do my set. Tonight, I'm going to have that coolness of water. Tonight, I'm just letting all the elements take over.
Sure.
And there was a lot of great performers there. Kenny Starr was there. She seen that performance that night, and she was, I don't know, she said that she felt it. Like, she's like, you were like a native Kurt Cobain that night. And that night, I just like, I let the great spirit take over me. Sometimes, some of these artists let the devil take over them, or demons or bad spirits, but I let the great spirit take over me that night. I went out there. We're in what's called Dundas Square, which is like Toronto's Times Square. It's a bit like the famous little part in Toronto. We're talking. I was like, yo, they should knock this mall down and do this. And they should I just talking shit like, how we do when we're sauced up. So I was saucing. Next thing Weekend, that's when I called him out. I was like, yo, what's up, man? Where you at? Where's your acapella at, brother? So we chopped it up, did that. When was it? I think High for This, or I don't know which song it was. It was one of the songs, right? Yeah. And then destroyed the acapella. The boy sings like Michael Jackson. But later on that night, it wasn't done. So after that night, we went to his loft where he made his first project, Loft Music. And we were just rapping and singing all night for hours. I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time. She's like, let's go, it's late. I'm like, nah, hell no. And that was back then. Like weeks before that, maybe like 2 weeks before that, I was like was back in my sauced out days. I got basically blindsided, and I got a few suckers. It's the only time I've ever been got. Like someone got me and gave me I had like a bit of a black eye. Late Tommy Daw went and regulated. He busted that guy's ass up.
Hey,
for that. You don't trust the cheat.
Hey,
so at that time I was wearing makeup, but I had a black eye there, and I've never had a problem with like lean and all that stuff. But at the time I was like, I had this little pill case and had all types of like little things in there that was going on because I was angry because I got drug up on my ex-girlfriend. I didn't even want to go out, but she drugged me out in Regina. So we went out, and then so at that point, I was trying to piss her off because she didn't like me partying. She didn't like when I got there. She didn't like it when I'd be on the pillies. So at that point, I had this little thing, and I was at his house. I opened it up, and there's like all these little different kind of things in this pill. There's like a little pill case where old people have like little compartments and shit like that.
Yeah.
I had all different kinds of stuff, and I opened it up. And Weekend was like, damn this, and really, he just dropped the N-bomb. I'm not going to say that. I used to say it once in a while, but I don't think it's for me to say. Hey, he's like, damn this mother. And then all of a sudden, I just looked at that point, he was like, he ended up singing about like all these different things that he was into. But at that point, I know he definitely seen. I think what inspired him, because he said his big inspiration wasn't my music, because he thought he's a better songwriter. And he's arguably a better songwriter. So like I said, it's preference.
Right.
My voice is kind of shitty, actually. So his voice is killer. He sounds like Michael Jackson, like I said. His production, he's got the best producer in the world. So it wasn't any of that. I think what inspired him was he felt that spirit.
Right.
He knew what it was like to be a thunderous performer, something that like you just let the spirit take over and you're gone. Like it's like almost like you have an out of body experience for that hour, and then all of a sudden the performance is done, and you're back in your body. You're like, I just did that. So he's seen it and he felt. That's why he said I'm a big inspiration, because he understood. And me and him had many talks, like we talked about Gandhi, we talked about Haile Selassie, because he's Eritrean Ethiopian, he's Habash.
Right.
So that guy's very intelligent, he's very introverted, I'm extroverted, so we had some good talks. We'd be sitting in his hotel room sometimes, and one time Tommy Hilfiger's son was in there, Rich Hill. He's smoking in the hotel room right in front of like the people. You're not supposed to smoke. They're smoking cigarettes, smoking weed. There's models running around, people doing all kinds of things I'm not gonna talk about on your podcast, like this and that, So that was a wild time. That was a wild time in my life. That was 9 years ago. So it was a long time ago that happened.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a few fan questions here, bro. There's actually some good ones coming in. First one we're gonna take, bro, is actually if you heard that hook coming in on our countdown video, man, that was none other than Miss Tia Wood, man. Very big supporter of our podcast, a very special friend of mine, man, and just a awesome vocalist, man. You need to check her out on Instagram, TikTok, man. Give her some love because you know she's absolutely blowing up. She's got a question here for you, Joey. She said, "What's some advice you would give to someone who wants to enter the music industry?"
The first thing I would say to do is if you've mastered, like, you know how to count bars, because anytime someone hits me up, I say, do you know how to count bars? And a lot of people don't even know how to count bars because you're not going to be able, depends what you want to do, but if you're trying to be a singer in the music industry, learn to count bars is the first thing, because a lot of people don't know song structure. So when we talk about songwriting, you need to know how to count bars properly because there's a formula for where things go, right? So that'd be the first thing. And the second thing is practice every day so your performances are just killer. You know, you shouldn't take any days off. Especially when you're first starting, you should be like, you know, an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours a day writing songs, singing songs, performing them, rapping them over, singing them over till you got it, playing the guitar till you got it. And then once you got that, find a studio that you like to work with, the engineer you like working with, find the producers that make the right beats. And it's easy nowadays. Like when I first came out, it was tough because there was no internet. But now there's internet, so you just go on TuneCore, you go on DistroKid, you go on one of these other aggregators. You get your music on all the platforms, TikTok, Spotify, all that, right? And then marketing, anyone now can just download an app that you can put text on. You can make flyers on your phone for, you know what I mean?
That's what we do.
Yeah, I'm saying it's very easy. And Tia, I got a question for you. Are you ready for this collab? We were talking about Carson and Tia. We need them on a record together.
Hey, that would be huge, man.
Tia and Carson together would be the biggest thing ever in Indian country. Ever. Like I'm saying, this would be astronomical. So we got to make that happen. And I was talking with you, Tia, a few days back about getting you in the studio. And I spoke with the engineers and I spoke with the producers. They're totally excited to work with you in Vancouver. They got the studio open. So whatever you need, we got you. Anything. Songwriting, beats, features. Because my dude, like I said, worked with Tory Lanez and produced for Tory Lanez. He produced for a few other real big artists. You know, one of the artists he's done a lot of work for too in Vancouver, who people are familiar with, is Mercules. He's done some stuff for Mercules as well. So you're working with an official cat. If you want to jump in there, we got you. You know, your sister. If you're with the brother, you know what I mean?
Hey, much love, bro. That's huge, man. We got a few more questions here we're going to jump into. We got Tristan Bird, bro. When you're bringing a concert back home to our people and youth, back to the roots, we love the music right in Crime Town, brother. Crime Town, Saskatchewan. Shout it out.
Oh, that's where I was born, North Battleford. That's where I was born. Straight up. If people don't understand, man, there's a town that only has like 19,000 people. They have no clue how tough that place is. That's a tough city, man. That's a tough town. People don't know. It's like probably per capita, I think it's got to be the toughest place in Canada.
Hey, no cap. All right, we got another question. Hey, man, we got a very good question. This is from Fawnwood, man. You know Fawnwood, man.
Yeah.
The round dance powwow extraordinaire, man. They run the virtual round dance. We're really looking forward. We're trying to bring Fawn on here very soon to be able to come share some music, man. She's a great artist. Her and Dallas are doing some great things, man. So she said, my question, what's your proudest moment as a musician performance-wise?
It's easy. I was just thinking when I read it. The moment is I did the Inspire Awards, the 2019 Inspire Awards, right? And I was the one that closed it out. So like the big closing was me, the big finishing thing, and Northern Cree and Redbone opened up with "Come and Get Your Love," so it was beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I can't because I'm being so honest with you. This whole show, I brought tears to my eyes seeing the father and son playing together. PJ and Pat playing together. I was so proud of it. And then my song, it's Victory Dance, I performed. I was cutting this apple. All of a sudden, I was bleeding. I was like, blood down. So I had to clean it. I was like, Jason was there, Chiquita. We were backstage. Michelle was there when it happened too. It was Buffy St. Marie's drummer, Michelle. And I cut myself like, Dad, do I need a bandage? Do I need to put glue in this, crazy glue? So all of a sudden, he's like, no, you don't. It's not that deep. So I just let it dry out. The cut was some. I had tears. There's blood. And then I was on stage. There was sweat. And in my song Victory Dance, I say blood, sweat, and tears make your family proud. And in that thing, you know what happened? In that, my dad was there, my brothers were there, and they were so proud watching me perform. And there's a video of my son Matisse of him. That's my daddy. That's my daddy. Sitting in there with Redbone. He's sitting there with Redbone, Pat Vegas, and Pat Vegas like, yeah, it's your daddy. You know, like Redbone was like, and my son was so proud. So that to me, that was the proudest moment seeing that video. I showed all my homies that, and I was like, oh man, that made me feel so good. So there was blood, sweat, and tears, and I made my family proud. My mom was there too. She was looking after the kids in the back with my mother-in-law. So it was a real proud moment. I made sure that I included my wife, my real close friend, someone that's really near and dear to me, Laura Milliken. She was the one who advocated for me to be in that show. I have a great relationship with Inspire. Suzette Amaya was there. She supports me as well. Every big thing I've ever done, she's been there. So that was a big moment. You know, I felt good. And afterwards, Pat Vegas like, yo, man, seeing you perform with something else, you're crazy. How many platinum records you got? Like, I haven't gotten it yet. He's like, you're going to have a lot. I believe him. Because I always believed it. You know, people think because, you know, you put out a couple albums and they don't reach to the top of the top, that's it. It's over when you say it's over, man. Keep going for that goal. And I want them Grammys. I want them Grammys. Listen, people at home, I want them Grammys. So that's my proudest moment. You know, definitely my proudest moment when my son was so proud to see his daddy on TV and he's sitting in there with Redbone, you know, like.
For sure, brother.
Yeah, for real, bro. And like personal opinion, people slept on Grey Magic, bro. That's a crazy album. The Oath, that's like one of my favorite songs by you. It's so real, and you're literally talking about you and your son and why you do it, man. That's such a beautiful song, bro.
Hey, respect.
There's a story behind that song too. Thank you. Like, I'm so honestly, I'm honored that you picked that song out because I used to do that song every single show. You know, I probably should jump back into it because it's like something that's so I'm proud of. Because my dad, like a lot of our families, you know, they struggle with like drinking. A lot of our people, you know, like you guys all know dads and uncles and brothers and best friends. So sometimes, you know, when people are drinking, they kind of ramble a little bit. And sometimes you're like, yeah, whatever, dad, whatever. But this time he's like, yo, you're having a son? You got to make an oath. You got to make a pledge. Because around that time, there were so many like signals, like from like supernatural signals from our creation stories of the different magical beings. I can't talk about on camera, but you can imagine all our folklore and all our legends. We were seeing all these beings, supernatural beings were coming around when my son was here. And I was telling my dad's like, they're here to honor him and protect your family, but you got to make an oath, a pledge. And at that moment, I said, you're drunk. Usually around, but you're right now. You're right. I got to make an oath. I got to make a pledge. He's like, make a pledge. And so I said, you know, I pledged. I'm going to do this for my son. And I'm going to pray every single day and smudge every day. Even if I don't shower, I don't sleep. Smudge every day. Doesn't matter. You know, that's one thing I don't miss. And I pledged to serve the light, to serve love and wellness. That's what I do now. That's me. You know, I don't look down on people that are still in that other life. I hope the best for them. And if they need help to get out of there, I'm here to help them and give them the resources that I have and the knowledge I have to get out of there. But I decided not to be in the gray area anymore where I go back and forth, you know, or I'm in the dark area where I'm doing negative, bad things. I serve love, light, wellness. And I live in the light now. And that's what that song represents. I'm doing this for you. I'm going to be a good man for you. Now, the moment I found out I was having a kid, the very moment I was drinking, I was actually drinking with Laura, you know, and Conatillo, a famous actress, and we were in the beaches in Toronto. That was the last time. The next day, we found out Carson was pregnant, and the moment I found out she was pregnant, I'm done drinking. She's like, "What? I'm like, quit. I never want my son or my kid, because I didn't know I was having a boy or girl at the time. I don't want my kid to ever see me drunk even once, because I hate it. I hate seeing it breaks my heart every single. It doesn't anymore because I know my dad's on his own path. So I accept that. I love him, no matter unconditionally. Doesn't have to be. You have to be sober. That's a condition. No, I love him no matter what state he's in or what he's doing. But that's something I didn't want for my kids. I want them to see it. I want to be a good role model for them. I want them to see me be strong. I want to see me be good. To see me have morals. To see me have a code of ethics that I follow and rules I stick to, and just be a good man, because I want my daughter to meet a good man when she's a woman, I want my son to be a good man and meet the right woman. And I did it. I took it a step further. Each generation, you want to do better and be stronger. And that's what that song represents: serving, love, light, and wellness. And that's what we do.
Word, bro. Yeah, man. I respect that. And I really love how you talk about how you smudge every single day. And like just listening to you talk, it's like you're spreading love and you love yourself. And you can't spread love unless you love yourself first, right? You have to love yourself in order to give love in a healthy way. And that sounds like what you're doing, man. I really respect that.
Well, thank you, man. That's what the song Superpower is all about. Like, it's about self-love, and that's how you activate your superpower. Because everybody in the whole world has a superpower. Everybody. There's not a person that doesn't. God gave all of us one special trait, one special thing that we could offer the world. But I think that's why a lot of people are depressed, because they don't know how to find it. They have video games distracting them. They have cell phones distracting them. They have drugs and alcohol. They have a job. But we all have one special thing, or even a couple, whatever. There's no rules how many, but we all have something special we can offer the world. God gave us a gift to share with the world. And you got to love yourself, and you got to activate that superpower for yourself. And that's what that song was about. And Gray Magic was when I was making that transition from black to gray to white. And now, I still will speak about the struggle, but I'm speaking about it in a more mature way. The Stress Street Lifestyle Club is very, 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 very street music. We put that out because that's still where I came from. That's still who I am. You know what I mean? But even I talk about, in the song I did with Jason Chiquita, my brother Paiute, and my brother King Benz, the general. I say, I'm a holy man, but I'll leave you holy. But you know what I'm talking about? I'll leave you holy, man. If you ever cross my fam, make that thing go kablam.
Hey,
so
that's
try to
bad.
be holy, but still at the end of the day, we got them blick guys, because it's our job to be a family man and take care of your family. The most dangerous people in the world are people who have nothing at all to lose, and people who have the whole world to lose. So I feel when I sleep in my bed with my family, and there's two little beautiful babies, I feel like that's the world right there. So if anyone tries to come between it, man, they're gonna have to use an atomic bomb to take me out, because they're not getting at my family ever. No bullet, no bear, nothing, man. That's my job.
Hey, respect that, brother, and that's what we love about you here too, man. Joey Stylez, the family man. So we got one more question. We'll finish up the fan questions with which. So, what process was more enjoyable, the creation of Sugarcane or the creation of Cool Running?
Both bangers.
Both bangers.
It was different because Cool Running was weird. You want to know the story?
Yeah,
So
Yeah, bro, for sure. Let's go.
Sugarcane took a lot of work to do, man. When I was living in Atlanta, I came up with the name Sugarcane because it was I said it in one of my songs. It's just like a lyric. And then when the song was done, I was like, it was like Munchies for Your Love, I think the song was. I say something about sugarcane or something like that. And I was like, yo, that's a cool ass name. I got to do it for a track. And then we just got back I moved back from Atlanta, and Sav was like, let's go, man. I'm going to throw some paper down. Dude had we were rolling around with 100 racks. He had I remember the one time I was at his house, and then I look over on the floor, and there was this. There's a big house party going. Everyone's walking all these rooms. I look over on the floor, and there was a toilet paper wrapper of the whole plastic bag. I looked closely, and there was 100 in the bag, and people were just walking around like hood people are walking around the party. I was like, damn, he's wild, this boy. So we went there, and we did about 3 or 4 hooks. None of them worked. We kept writing it. No, it's not good. We know this has to be a special song. We're gonna do a video for it. We're gonna put up the money. And that video cost a lot of money. And the guy who produced that beat, he was on fire. He just did the song Dangerous with Akon and Cardinal. So we were like, yo, let's rock this Vanguard. That's Chemo, and I'm working with Vago. That's my man. Vago has been killing it. And I'm working with Chemo still. That's my dude. And we got this. We did that song, and it was actually a rare song where I put a lot of thought into it. Because for the most part, I just write it and that's it. But I write it, scrap it, write it, scrap it, write it, change a part, add a new part. We did 3 or 4 hooks. We knew this had to be special. We knew it. So much went into that, every detail. We were, like I said, we were working out, and that was probably around one of the last times I did something probably a little bit in the dark side, because we needed some money, right? So a dude had to get money because it cost him money. So I went and did some things in the streets that I'm not going to get into. I got my paper up real quick, and then we went back there and banged out Sugarcane. And then my dude, my producer, one of my producers that was my engineer at the time, Stylez, he sent me the beat. And at the time, Effin was one of my sponsors too. So they were giving me some paper, they gave me some bread, and then I was going to the effing store, and they're giving me some gear to wear for the video because that's my family. They still are, you know. SDK. I don't know if you can see that. Where is it? Right there.
Shout
It's
out.
SDK cat, right? So that's my crew. So I was over there, and on the way from Vancouver to Surrey, where the effing store is, I wrote that song, Cool Running. It just came out like so naturally. So Cool Running was exciting. I remember calling my ex-girlfriend at the time, like, what does this cosmopolitan mean? Because I'm not really like, I know more words now, but back in the day, before I was in the streets, I wasn't really focused on learning very much. You know, I was focused on being fly, spending money, getting money, being solid, representing, you know, but traveling the world to all these different countries, I kind of like, you know, it kind of made me a little bit different, gave me better vocabulary, better understanding of how things are work. You see art, see music, learning history. So Cool Running was very natural. So that gave me that natural high too. But I knew that was a special song. Since then, I've had a couple songs which I thought were like even bigger than that. And they never took off. But like I said, you know, I'm legit working towards winning a Grammy. It's not stupid talk. It's not like funny talk. I want them Grammys. I'm not stopping until I get them Grammys, you know.
Sure,
I'm not stopping way beyond that. When I get them Grammys, let's set a higher goal. Because you got to give yourself some goals, else you get sick. Because we all need a purpose, right? So to answer the question, it was they each had their own thing, but Sugarcane must have been a little bit more special because of all that went into it. But we all have to give ourselves goals, and when we reach this goal, go for the next one. Because if you just give yourself this goal and you get there, you're satisfied. A lot of times, that's when people's purpose in life is done. It's like, okay, well, you're here, you conquered your mission, and sometimes that's when you choose to go home. So I'm giving myself some big goals that I'm gonna keep going for them because I'm trying to live in my hundreds and still be walking around, doing yoga, playing guitar, painting, singing, rapping. You know, playing with my great grandkids. You know, that's what it's about.
Yeah, bro, that's facts for real. I feel the same way, man. Like, I feel like nothing's gonna get me until I'm 100. And the only thing that's gonna take us out is like the apocalypse or something, bro. Because we're healthy. We're gonna live,
bro. We're good.
We're good.
I'll just jump on the wave. Just ride that wave.
Hey. The Cool Running wave, bro.
Yeah,
I remember
bro.
when that joint came out, bro. Everyone was certainly stunned. Hey, that for real, man. If that came out today, bro, that would have been like the TikTok song forever, bro. We would have never stopped hearing that, man. And it's still got so much life, and we love that song. So, like I said, me and River, these last couple of days, we've been getting back into, you know, listening to that old music, bringing that youth out in us again, man. I feel like a kid again listening to those joints. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, bro. It means a lot to hear that.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So I think what we're gonna do here is, I think I want to start this. I want to start this with you first. So how we're gonna end it is we're gonna push you up on the camera by yourself, man. If you got a message that you want to give, if there's something that you want to tell, man, it's all on you. We're gonna let you finish it up, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. But I'm gonna put you on. Give me 1 second. I just want you to give our people a little bit of messages, bro. Whatever you feel like, bro. It's all on you.
So now's your chance. Like I said again, you can win this beanie, this winter cap. We have a full line. We have winter jackets. We have hoodies. We got sweaters. We got leggings for women. We got baby jumpers. We got hats, beanies. We got everything going on. We're like Stress Street Lifestyle Club is a full-on brand. We're trying to be like Vans. You know what I mean? And my message I have for you guys at home is a lot of people are out of balance right now, mind, body, and spirit. And that's when you fall. That's when you get depressed. That's when you get sick. So I just read something about a month ago, and it's really stuck in my mind. When you live in the past, you're going to be depressed. When you live in the future, you're going to be anxious. But when you live in the present, you're just going to enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, be balanced, take care of your body, you're physically, you know, like if you're injured and you can't weight lift or do push-ups and exercise like that, then do stretching. Take care of your body, stretch, work out, be active, eat good food. We're poisoned by the food. It's our job to take care of the environment. I think everybody should watch that Kiss the Ground. Go on Netflix and watch Kiss the Ground. Everybody. It's Woody Harrelson is on there, and the funny thing is, my boy Ryan Lear is Woody Harrelson's yoga instructor, my dude. And he's a great guy, Woody Harrelson. And he kind of breaks down the importance of protecting the land. And being a spiritual person is being connected to the land, connected to the animals. We're here to kind of basically be like the janitors to this world, the caretakers, right? So mind, body, and spirit, take care of your body. Spirit, pray, smudge, whatever you do. If you're an atheist, meditate, ground yourself. Be within self, be within universe, connect and just know what you're doing. Settle down, ground yourself. And your mind, if you stop using your mind, you go crazy. You might get, some people get dementia, some people get Alzheimer's. So you got to use your mind, teach yourself new stuff. Don't stop learning. Mind, body, and spirit, be strong. And when you get that, that's when you get that third eye hip, 3-eye hip. We're hip to the world. We know what's going on. That's the new project, 3-eye hip, coming out November 25th around. That's the release date we have projected. After that, we have other things. Like I said, we got a bunch of other projects, but really, I think it's important that you set goals. And school is important because it's important that we have factory workers. You know, it's good to have people that run society. Not everyone could be an actor. Not everyone could be a singer or a rocker. You know, some people don't have the desire to do that. So it's important that, you know, if that's your dream to go be a carpenter, then do it, man. Because we need beautiful homes. If your goal is to be a dentist, we need people to have clean mouths and like to healthy teeth, right? So just don't make your decisions in life based upon what you're told. Follow your spirit, because it's like school breaks a lot of people's spirit. But sometimes people, their goal and their dreams is to go out beyond and be a doctor or a lawyer, or maybe one day become a judge, and so on and so on. So if you want to be a singer, do it. Like, if you do whatever you want to do, don't be fooled by someone saying, no, you can't do that. You need a backup plan. Basically, when someone says you need a backup plan, they're saying give up on your dream. It's not going to happen. It's not reality. But it's a reality if you want it to be reality. You got to put the 10,000 hours in, and then you become a master at what you do. And that's my message, you know, be strong, be a survivor, have faith. My strength comes from Creator. My strength comes from my family. That's where I get my fuel from. And we all get scared sometimes, you know, we all have fear, but that doesn't make you a coward. What makes you a coward is not overcoming that fear. So overcome that fear. You know, every day there's a new challenge. There's things to worry about. This life is not easy. Find a way to fight through it, you know. And to me, there's no better teacher than Mother Earth. You know, bro, there's no better teacher. What do you learn from Earth? Be grounded. Plant your roots. Be steady. What do you learn from water? Path of least resistance. Take the path that's easiest. Why do you got to go against the grain? Go with it, man. Go with the flow. What's the wind do? The wind is capable to go any which direction it wants to go anytime. Fire? What's fire? People think fire is a scary thing. Fire is regeneration. It's regrowth. That's when things grow. So it's about rebuilding yourself, starting all over. That's what fire is. So you can learn from those elements. You know, if you learn from those elements, mind, body, spirit, you'll be strong. Many highs for having me, and I hope. Much love and respect.
Hey, brother, I can't thank you enough, man. First of all, like I said, man, me and River, we grew up on Joey Stylez' music, man. We grew up idolizing this guy, man. And I can call you a personal friend of mine, a brother now, you know, and that means so much to me because, like I said, when I was growing up, bro, there was one guy I looked at that was the coolest guy in the city. He had the freshest clothes. Look at him now, man. This guy hasn't aged in 20 years, bro. Still the same old dude, man. Same still Uncle Joey.
Too nice, too kind.
Hey, so it's all love. It's all respect, bro. Thank you for coming on, bro. I hope, again, that we can bring you on anytime you want, bro. You want to do a guest host with us. You want to come chill, chop it up, give us some new music. Whatever you need, brother, we want you here, brother. So please come through at any time, man. Much love,
brother. You know what we're going to do, though? Next time I come on, we'll talk about conspiracies.
Hey, let's do it.
Oh, let's go.
Next time I come on, we're going to debunk some of these myths and just dig into them. Some are real, some are fake, but let's go.
Hey, let's go. Hey, thank you, Joey Stylez, man. Much love, brother.
Much love, bro.
All right, so how'd y'all like that, man? That was a great episode, man. So what we're gonna do, we ran out of time a little bit, so I'm gonna do the giveaway in a few minutes. We'll go live on just a different platform, kind of chill it out a bit. But we're gonna be back here on Thursday night, probably around 8 o'clock. I'll tune in the time. But what we're gonna do is, just because obviously we didn't get too much time to talk about ourselves and talk about, you know, what it is we want to do here, what it is that we have going on in our own lives. And I actually asked my brother River if he would be our first ever guest, our first ever, not official guest, but talk about us a little bit, talk about River. I know you got a story, brother. Like, and I know you haven't been able to tell your story or let people in, and I think you're ready to do that. So are you down to do this with me on Thursday?
Yeah, bro, for sure. I mean, like, what's the use of like going through all these struggles and pushing through everything if you're not going to tell a story to like inspire others, right? And like, I feel like I've been quiet for too long. Like, my social media, it's all jokes, man. Nobody knows me on there, you know what I mean? Because I'm always joking. But like, that podcast, bro, I want to get real with you, man. I want to talk about like literally anything and everything with you, bro, for sure.
Hey, so you heard it here first. Thursday, 8 p.m., man. We're going to be back in the Foxing Around studio. It's going to be my guest, River Thomas, man. We're going to get into a bunch of issues, certain things that we want to talk about, man. And then, man, on Thursday, I'm going to tell you guys the guest we got for next Sunday, man, and it's going to be huge, bro. We already know, so what do you think about it, bro?
Bro, I'm so excited, man. I cannot wait.
Be ready. So, once again, man, thank you guys all for coming through today, man. It means a lot to us, all the support you guys have been giving us, the shares, the likes, man. Shout out Jason, shout out Dustin and Nathan for helping us get our audio set up, helping us set up our studio, man. Obviously, shout out Miss Tia Wood, man, the prettiest girl in Indian country. Could be, man. She gave us that vocal on the front of the countdown, man. So if you listen to that, man, that's her audio, man. We thank you so much for giving us that.
For real, man.
Sound, man. It sounds legit.
Exactly. And like the same, that ain't even released yet, bro. That's exclusive to the Foxing Around podcast.
Hey,
exclusive.
Man. Exclusive. So from us here, man, we've had a great first episode, man. It's been so much fun. Much love, man. Take care of your guys' selves, man. Keep the good love. And till the next time we're foxing around, man. Peace.